Yeah. Oh man, I never realized it was going to be this windy up here. Let's see. Oh, there it is. Oh no, here comes another wind current. Look out below! Wow, that could have gone better. Now let's see. The cave is right around about here. Oh! Well, ready to go through my top 10 cartoon villains list that are completely scary. Now let's see. I wonder if I have everything prepared. It's a good thing I made limitations to whoever you are, I'm warning you, I have a spell book and I'm not afraid to use it. Winnie the Pooh, what are you doing here? I mean, it's fantastic seeing you, but I'm heading over to the Cave of Villains to check out the top 10 scary villains. How'd this happen? Jafar, Maleficent, and Rasputin. I should have known those three would be behind this. I'm pretty sure they're just doing it because, one, they're angry at me for not including them on the list. Disney villains are talked about all the time, and animated film characters are a different category altogether. And then, of course, it's because they just want to mess with you guys to take out their anger. Well, looks like my top 10 scary cartoon villains list has now become a rescue mission. Come on, Pooh, let's go find your friends. Pooh? I'm afraid I know who this laboratory belongs to, and it's our top 10 candidate. Oh boy, and here he is right about... Oh great, it just had to be you. Of all the villains in the number 10 list, the Chona was very deserving of this. Don't let this fancy schmancy suit fool you. He really is a very dangerous villain. He is obsessed with power and will do just about anything to get it. One of the things that make his personality even more frightening is how he manipulates both creatures and humans alike. He will stop at nothing to get the power to control both the human and kaiju world, whatever means necessary. He even manipulated the main protagonist, Raiden, to do his bidding. He even controlled a huge Leviathan named King Tritonus to do his will. And that's why I put him number 10, because, one, some of you may recognize his voice from the Mummy, and he has a certain weakness. Like heck I would take your deal. I know making a deal with you always is a death sentence. Anyway, I know one weakness that'll get you knockin'. Alright, you asked for it, Shoten. Tickety talk Insectomania. Sickamana. Nice to meet you, Piglet. I'm sorry we couldn't meet on better circumstances, but I'm afraid we got to go. Yes, Piglet, I'm afraid we're gonna have to continue finding the others further down the cave. If we want to find them, we got to get to the villains. Alright, everyone, there's a lot of dangerous villains here, so be on your toes. Uh-oh, he ran to Captain Slaughter, one of the villains from Pound Puppies. Despite that he's also humanoid, he's probably scarier than the Chosen. If you notice his robotic arm, deep voice, and a sailor suit that hides his face, he practically is menacing by not only human standards, by animal standards too. He's basically the male version of Cruella de Vil, minus the huge obsession with the coat. He'll stop at nothing to get rid of all the puppies in existence. Heck, he even terrifies the main villain of the series, Katrina Stoneheart. Just look at the way she's flinching as he nears her. Luckily, I know his weakness. With the Chosen, it was the Monetics, but with the Star Pup, he was his arch nemesis. Get him, Cooler! You should thank Cooler for that one. Definitely getting close to the number 8 contestant. Be on your guard. I was looking through my spellbook. It doesn't give me a straight answer, but only a few hints. And this one's a she and a crazy. If you guys smell ash, then get behind me. This one is dangerous than the other two, for more reasons than one. When she first debuted in Avatar, the Last Airbender, Azula was considered a very formidable foe, being the fire princess. However, towards the tail end of the series, she slowly started to become delusional, seeing things that are not there, and paranoia to the extreme. Aside from that factor, despite that, Azula really is a very crafty villain out of the previous candidates. Do just about anything. Also, with her lightning and fire power, she's basically a intelligent ticking time bomb waiting to happen. So, I put her number 8 on this list because she's still a human being, but with more power than the Chosen and Captain Slaughter combined. rat. He's a kangaroo, ya dodo. And second of all, we're gonna leave here quietly, so you just step aside or you're gonna face the consequences, scary or not. That answer your question? Well, according to the map of my spellbook, there's 2 contestants that are basically in the sections of caves that are filled with webs. So we're gonna have to deal with them for a while. Number 7 is not a human, that's for sure. But she's not as scary as number 6 contestant. Our current member is going by the name of Queen Chrysalis. Queen Chrysalis, out of all the MLP villains, is probably the most scariest out of all of them. Through her debut in the season 2, I believe, she became one of the most terrifying changelings. The Queen of Mean rules all the changelings, creatures that are insect-like and have the capability of creating cocoons to feed off the love of the victims. So yeah, there goes that creepy factor in all of this. But being sworn to defeat her enemies later, Chrysalis was still the terrifying through her voice and actions of creating and plotting against the main 6 crew. Save it for someone who cares. Oh, just an air horn spell that should slow down the villains for a little bit. Yeah, our next contestant is on this list, and she is number 6, but oh boy. Arachnid is probably far worse than Chrysalis in terms of being a spider, as well as being a Cybertronian hunter being obsessed with nothing more than decapitating heads. That's right, in the Kiss Show, she wants to decapitate Decepticons and humans alike. It doesn't help that she has the ability to control Insecticons, and then later in the series, turns into a Cybertronian vampire. So, if you find yourself against her, my suggestion is this: run! Okay, we gotta find Eeyore fast because number 5 feeds on sorrow, and I'm pretty sure Eeyore has a boatload. The beast from over the garden wall really is a very dangerous character you don't want to find in the unknown. You see, again, he feeds on the souls of those that wander into his woods and controls others such as the woodsman to do his bidding. And if you fall into his tricks and fall deep into despair, technically his name literally means death of hope. And if you experience that loss of hope, you might as well turn into a tree of oil for his lantern. But the reason he's put on number 5 is because of his physical reveal when the lights are shined on him. This practically gives us an even more reason to find, hey look, there he is! Snap out of it, Eeyore! Look here, you oversized tree and a poor excuse of bark. You come any closer to the rest of our friends and don't release the donkey, you're gonna kiss your lantern goodbye! I figured as much. Listen, Eeyore, I know that sometimes sadness is your normal state of being. But don't forget, you're always surrounded by friends who will help you no matter what. And I'm pretty sure they risked everything to come to this cave and come and get you. Okay, we still have 4 more villains to go through. And I'm telling you this, the next top 4 are just as dangerous, so be on your guard. It's a lot earthy here. We're probably gonna encounter one of the top 4. They're a little sympathetic, but not less scary. Here's one right now! True, these guys aren't technically villains, but they're body horror to the extreme. Ever since their debut, they've been basically ingrained nightmares in our minds of these misshapen gems who are basically searching pieces of themselves. They are literally the body horror to the extreme. They'll attack anyone and anything that moves just so they can reach their goal. And they are not able to think properly. I put them at number 4 because physically they are terrifying. However, they aren't without their own sorrow. You see, these were crystal gems and other shattered gems that were either homeworld as well, but anyway, these were experimented on, practically turning them into the traditional Frankenstein monster. Again, that's why I put them number 4. Think of these guys as nothing more than literal zombies. Time to bubble them, folks! Okay, well, that was a close one. However, there's Cassie right now. Oh geez, run you guys, run! Gak! I should have realized number 3 was gonna be this difficult. I didn't realize he had manipulation of the rocks in this part of a cave. I'm so sorry, you guys. I should have known. Unicron is the number 3 for good reason. He was the main antagonist throughout the majority of Transformers Prime, as well as debuted first in the Transformers movie, the 1980s one if some of you remember that. You see, he was very large during his time, practically having powers of God. You see, to make matters worse, he has the ability to revive Decepticons and Autobots by reviving them, literally turning them into zombies, as well as controlling over Megatron, which is also part of a reason why he was the biggest bad of them all. His capability of creating large metallic husks of himself was just only the icing of the cake of his power. If he were to expand himself, he would have destroyed all of Earth. Thankfully, I know how to disable him. Eat this, Unicron! Glad to see you're alright, but by any chance, could you give us a hand to get us out of these darn crystals? Oh boy, out of the frying pan and into the fire, or in this case, into the water. Looks like we're gonna have to swim the remainder of the way. We're almost there, you guys. Just hang on and stay close. This underwater tribe specializes in mind control, basically turning your closest friends into the most horrible enemies possible. They're obsessed with one thing alone, taking the Kafka by force if necessary. These guys come up with very dangerous strategy, and what makes it worse is their capability of surviving inhospitable fluids like oil. Because of their armies, Ani is one heck of a leader that gives the Marillions the edge. In his 3 forms, he really is a powerhouse that many would say is a miracle to survive. Luckily, this number 2 character has always been the cocky of their abilities, which is why they lost the war a couple of times. And I know some heroes who could help. Come in, KORMX. Hey! Boo! Snap out of it! Don't you dare go from us here! Oh, thank goodness you guys couldn't come at a better time. Rabbit? That's not daylight. That's the number one most scariest cartoon villain in existence, and no doubt she'll blind us the moment we enter the room. White Diamond is one of the most frightening characters in Steven Universe. Her demeanor is like poisoned honey. I cannot stress of why I put her on the number one despised Steven Universe character list, for a very good reason. She is frightening to all three of her fellow diamonds, pink, yellow, and blue. When they do something wrong, they freak out big time. And these are supposed to be the main baddies of the show. To top it all off, what really puts her in the spot is that she has a mind control abilities. And what exactly separates her from the Marillions? Well, with the Marillions, you kind of see them coming. But at the same time, with Whites, it's almost unpredictable. You would expect her to do something immediately, but she's so calm and unemotional, you can't even tell. What makes it even more frightening of her mind control is how she literally sucks the color out of everyone she touches. And to top things all off, she practically took Steven's gem and changed her mind. Because of these actions, her personality, and some of her qualities in her powers, this puts her as the number one most terrifying, if not the scariest cartoon character ever made in existence. So White, give us the owl and we'll leave. Get her, Pink, Steven, before she does something she'll regret. Good grief, for villains your age, you guys act so mature. Especially you, Maleficent. I get it, it sucks that you're not invited to some big event, but yet at the same time, it does give you the right to turn everyone into a spell? I don't think so. Eat this! That's okay, Owl. I understand that the situation was pretty bad. I hope I get to see you guys soon. Maybe under better circumstances. Happy Halloween, folks!